We're going to do a review mostly of the retro scope here on our retro M16A1 rifle that I built. But before we get into it, if you would please subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, and if you could, become a member. Alright, as we all know, retro stuff is expensive. Now, if you're not happy with the simple iron sights that you have with your retro gun, retro scopes, which are pretty much exact copies of what was available back in the 1960s, a basic scope and the way it mounts on the carry handle, which is kind of a specialized scope for the M16 platform, AR-15 platform, and the way it mounts and everything goes on the carry handle up here. So Brownells, when they were doing their retro guns, and they still sell complete uppers, and they will sell you a set with the scope and a complete upper. Okay, their scope, it's said to have been made in the same company in Japan that originally made these scopes back in the 60s. They're an exact, it's the exact same company and scope that was manufactured then, and there says retro on it, and cost about 350 units. This is a Barska scope. It looks just the same as it, except it has Barska 4x20 on the thing here. Comes with dust covers in this nice box. And this is about 100 units or C-note off of the big A, what I'm talking about, online department store, because if I try to promote it, YouTube will believe I'm trying to sell it for them, and then they get upset about that. But y'all know where I get my budget scopes from. You should know by now. So I threw this on there. It wasn't a perfect day, but we'll go over the results. We'll take a closer look at the scope itself on the gun. We'll look at the targets, which I brought back with me, even though the rain started. And also, if you go online and look for AR-15 carry handle scopes and search that with Google, you will find an article written 2026, the best carry handle scopes for an AR-15 rifle. And truthfully, it's done by one of the gun magazines or something. It lists 5 of them. Now, in reality, there's only 2 scopes, and there's some types of dot scopes, more compact, modern things that will bolt on in this same configuration somehow. But it shows you the #1 choice, okay, for this is this Barska scope, is the #1 for performance and value. The #2 is the Brownells scope, which is 350 units, and there's links, and you can compare everything, and they go over it. But this is the #1 scope, and it's only 100 units. So, and that's not my opinion. That's one of the gun article. The gun used to be Gun Magazine or something. Now I don't think they make magazines anymore, but they publish articles. So it's from one of the gun writers' articles of the top 5, and it shows you where to go and get, like accessories, scopes, and things like that. But this came out there. So let's take a look at it, and then I'll show you the targets. And this is a 1-in-7 twist barrel on this build, so I was using the standard Winchester government overrun 62 grain bullets and a couple other different types of ammo. I want to give you guys a little bit better look at this thing while it's mounted. That is the style mount with the flat springs and that. I've seen similar scopes in the past here. There's your markings. And then on the turret, once you set it at 100, you go all the way 1, 2, 3. That's hundreds of yards adjustments until out to 500 yards. And like I said, the thing looks identical to the scope. You know, the original scopes. There's another look at the mounting thing. It does go on there, and the eye relief is good. I have to squinch up a little, you know, pull my head a little closer to get the wide field of view. And here's the box with the specifications, and yes, it is made in China. But it seems to be alright. I'm going to go out, take it out again, shoot it some more, make sure it holds the 0 on there. But all in all, it's an actual pretty good replica of what was used. And it does work well. We'll look at some targets now. Alright, after I supposedly sighted in and was hitting on the diamond, I fired 10 rounds, and that's what I ended up with. We're looking at like about a 2-inch group, if not wider, depending on which way we measure. Not impressive, but that was the best I did, and it was pretty good because that scope was way off. And I had to make some adjustments to get it even close to where I was on paper and tried dialing it in. Granted, the weather sucked. It got colder as I was there, and I have to go out and try again, try not when my hands are frozen and see if I can do better. But that's the best we had. When we went on to the Turkish ammo, as you see, we 1, 2, 3, about a 4-inch group here, and that. But see, that Turkish ammo, that's just the way it is in some barrels. Now, why it was on, and then as it heated up, I don't know if it dropped down, or if that was me, or what. But that's what we got with the Turkish ammo. And this is our Chilean ammo, 10 rounds. And again, you know, we're hitting the diamond, and then we drop down and low. I don't know if that has something to do with the scope's moving or what, but we're going to get out, and we got some decent weather, and it's warm, and take my time and try this scope out again. We're going to just see how well it shoots repeatedly. Alright, so thank you, and stay tuned.